Yo, what's good, YouTube? Yeah, time is going by faster nowadays. Like these days be going by quick as fuck. One day nowadays feels like it's cut in half. One day now feels like it's 12 hours. I started noticing, I first started noticing around 2016 that the days and the years were starting to go by a little quicker, you know, and it really started to accelerate to the level of how it is now back in 2018. Back in 2018, I really started to notice the time going by faster. Like the days started to go by really, really, really fast starting in 2018. And I remember back in the summer of 2018, 2 weeks would go by, and it only felt like 1 week went by. 2 weeks felt like 1 week. I'm like, why the days going by so fucking fast? Like this past year, 2020 went by so fucking quick. 2020 only felt like fucking 3 to 4 months. The days are going by faster. It's like it's very strange. When I was a fucking kid, all the way up to like 2015, from that time period from when I was a kid years ago, all the way up to a few years ago, 2015, the days didn't go by so quickly. I remember, you know, it wasn't that long ago. Summers used to be long as fuck. A full year would feel lengthy. Now, a fucking full year feels like 3 months. And these days are just flying by. I mean, but what's the explanation? What's the explanation? I mean, man, we're living in the we're really living in the quote unquote end times. This is very apparent, and it's very strange. Days will go by so quickly. The days, like the individual days, are going by so quickly that some days I don't even have enough time to finish all of my errands. Some days I'll have a whole bunch of errands that I have on schedule and that I can normally do on a regular 1 day length. But nowadays, these days are going by so quickly, and like time is going by faster. So each day is going by faster, and it's giving me less time to accomplish what I need to accomplish in a day. And I'll be like using my phone in a day. I'll be using my phone like I use my phone just like how everybody else uses their phone every day. You know, I'll be browsing the internet or on YouTube looking at videos, and it doesn't feel like I'm taking up a whole lot of time. Then I'll be on my phone, browse my phone. I'll look at the time. It'd be like 1 o'clock. Then out of nowhere, boom! I look at the clock again, pay attention to the time again. It's like 4 o'clock. 3 hours went by, and it only feels like 30 minutes went by. It's like then it's like that like every day. Like I look at the time. It'll be 3 o'clock. The boom out of nowhere. I look at the clock again. It's 9 o'clock at night, and it only feels like 2 hours went by, or 4 hours, or 5 hours, 6 hours went by, not 7 hours went by. It's like it's crazy. We're definitely living in the quote unquote end times. They say that we're officially in the age of Aquarius. You know, we're like in the transition age between like the age of Pisces, which is ending, and now I think we're officially in the age of Aquarius. So we're living in some type of different age now, and maybe in this age of Aquarius, the perception of time might be different. And another explanation of this phenomenon of the time and days going by quicker is maybe the earth is rotating a little bit faster than what it was rotating normally. You know, I remember learning about time. Time correlates, and the number of days in a year and the amount of hours in a day all correlate with how fast the earth rotates. So maybe the days are going by faster and time is going by faster on earth because the earth is rotating a little. The earth is now rotating at a slightly faster rate than it was a few years ago. So it's changing our perception of time. You know, if the earth rotates faster, then if the earth rotates faster, then the point from night to, if the earth rotates faster, then the point from morning to night is going to go at a faster rate. You know, if the earth is rotating so quickly, then the point from morning to night and night to day is going to go at a faster rate. So, yeah, but we're definitely upon a different age. We definitely are. Even the weather pattern is changing. But the weather, we can mainly blame the weather pattern changing due to carbon emissions and us, millions of people drive cars and the cars engine give off fuel, then the fuel is released from the car and these cars emit CO2 to the atmosphere, and that CO2 in the atmosphere, it fucks with the weather, you know, global warming, you know, it's like the weather pattern is like a month off. I remember last September, early September of 2020, the whole September, early September is usually hot as fuck. Early September usually feels like August weather, in the 80s and 90s. But this past September 2020, it was feeling like fucking October, and the first week of September, which is usually supposed to be hot as fuck, was feeling like October, Halloween weather. It was like fucking 50 degrees the first couple weeks of September, which is absolutely strange. It's like the weather pattern's like a month off or a couple months off. Damn, we really noticing a shift. But man, there's a lot going on in the world right now, and we just need to pay attention. We're living in the end times, and we really need to start reading the Bible and following the commandments, living our right life right, and cause shit is finna go down. Um, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You know, I'm kind of a beginner. I'm a beginner as a Hebrew Israelite, but it's still my belief, and I recommend the Hebrew Israelite faith to you guys. You know, to get into Yahweh, Yahweh's kingdom. Yahweh is God. Yahweh is a Hebrew name for God. Yahweh is a Hebrew name for God. And to get in Yahweh's kingdom, you know, and to survive the upcoming and the current days of tribulation of the end times, and to make it to the heaven on earth kingdom of Yahweh, of God, you have to follow the rules and commandments, the laws and commandments of Yahweh. And it's all stated in the Bible. You have to pick up that Bible and read it. You know, search the Ten Commandments and follow those Ten Commandments. Google the Ten Commandments and remember them, interpret them, and follow Ten Commandments. Especially as a black man, as a black person, even as a black woman, we are the biblical Israelites and we have to live by Yahweh's, God's rules, statutes, laws, and commandments. And we learn the statutes and commandments of Yahweh by reading the Bible. You know, stop living a sinful life. Me, for example, I'm trying to change my life up. I'm not perfect. I have flaws. I sin. I don't have the greatest mind state all the time, but I'm still trying to put forth effort. I read the Bible every now and then. I read the Bible more than I used to. You know, but it's a process that I'm going through, and you guys should start that process too. You know, especially as a black person, we're the Hebrew Israelites. Black people, West African descent, we're the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. So we're God's chosen people. We're God's chosen people. So we have to live by His rules, laws, and statutes and commandments. The Hebrew Israelites were under a curse because our ancestors were breaking Yahweh's statutes, laws, and commandments. Our ancestors weren't living by Yahweh's way, and He put us under a curse. And a lot of curse of what Yahweh put over the Israelites was enslavement. The Hebrew Israelites, Yahweh, God put a curse on the Hebrew Israelite of enslavement, the curse of enslavement. Hebrew Israelites, we've been under enslavement for thousands of years, like for a couple of thousand of years. That's because our ancestors weren't living by the way of Yahweh. They weren't following the Ten Commandments and stuff. And He put us under a curse. We were under enslavement. We were under Greek enslavement. You know, a few hundred years before the birth of Jesus or Yahshua. Yahshua is the Hebrew name of Jesus. And a few hundred years before the birth of Yahshua, Jesus, a few hundred years before his birth, the Hebrew Israelites were under Greek rule and enslavement. A lot of Alexander the Great conquered Israel and Egypt, and they brought over a lot of Israelites as slaves to Greece. A lot of Israelites lived in Greece and were slaves in Greece and lived a very oppressive life in Greece. And the Hebrew Israelites were also slaves Egypt for over 400 years. Hebrew Israelites were also slaves in Egypt for a few hundred years. That's another part of our curse of enslavement from Yahweh. Then the Hebrew Israelites were under Persian slavery. And the Hebrew Israelites were also under Babylonian slavery. And eventually, the Hebrew Israelites were also under Roman captivity. And the Romans had a couple of wars with the Hebrews. Rome eventually took over Israel and pushed the Israelites out of Israel. And the Romans took over Jerusalem, expelled the Hebrew Israelites, and Israel has been the white man's land ever since the Romans took over Israel. Um, it was the Roman soldiers who crucified Jesus, Yeshua. But man, I'm just giving you guys a little history lesson, and yeah, man, guys should definitely check out the Hebrew Israelite faith. It's pretty interesting, and I watch videos of the Hebrew. I watch Hebrew Israelite videos on YouTube, and right now my favorite Hebrew Israelite guy to watch on YouTube is his YouTube channel name is Arise, Oh Israel. Arise, Oh Israel. That's his YouTube channel. And man, he's like this Nigerian guy. He's a Nigerian guy, and his delivery is very enthusiastic. He screams and gets loud sometimes, but his delivery is very enthusiastic, and his delivery is very entertaining, and it will keep you glued into the videos just off of his delivery. And he just doesn't say stuff. Arise, O Israel. He gives evidence of what he says through Bible verses. He's very well versed in the Bible, and so he knows what he's talking about. So check out the YouTube channel Arise, O Israel. It's spelled like this: ARISE space O, then another space, Israel, ISRAEL. I just got to spell it out to you guys, because I want to make sure you get to his channel. But all right, y'all.